A whole new world. It's a fucking great movie, by the way. Little Mermaid, let's talk about it.
Huh?
A whole new world. It's a fucking great movie, by the way. Little Mermaid, let's talk about it.
Well, that's not.
That's not
not
Little Mermaid?
No.
A Whole New World's not Little Mermaid?
It's Aladdin.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yo, what is up, fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Pillar of Thriller. I am Justin.
I am Romo, and we are here. Skibbity bop dee doo.
Hey. Now, today we're going to be covering Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
On Netflix.
The newest one. We just dropped the trailer reaction last week, and now we're covering the actual movie.
Yeah, we wanted to build up to that movie coming out. We're pretty pumped about it. It's just, I know the timeline's an absolute mess all over the place with all those movies. Mm-hmm. And then we saw this trailer, and we were really, really pumped about it. We're like, surely they can't mess this up, or surely they can't try to do too much with it. We have thoughts. We have a lot of thoughts.
Quite a bit. But before we do, let's get into our sponsors real quick, man.
Yes.
Kosi Ju Chima. Mm-hmm. He has done our logo.
Incredible guy.
Not this.
Not
somebody
this one.
else.
Sorry, not this one.
Yeah. But,
this one over here.
Yes. Boring_Millie. Follow him on IG. Mm-hmm. Brandon Jack, just kicking it. Go follow. He just dropped a Soulmates.
Yes.
February
14th was Valentine's Day
merch.
Oh, it's fantastic too. I got to get some for Madison and I.
Yes. And
the leggings are out for Brandon also.
Yeah.
Just kicking it leggings. They're fire. And go listen to their podcast if you're a sneakerhead or you're just into hip hop culture, sneaker culture. They talk about all things that are going on in the world, or all around that stuff. So check it out. We got Haunt Junkies, who we've been talking about for a while, but we're actually getting some stuff in the works with them to come up this year. 2022 is going to be a big year for us, so only right to have big things plans with the homies at Haunt Junkies.
Gotta have that. Last but not least, Eric Martinelli from He's Crafty. You already know the deal. Go follow him. Go look at his shit. He does some really dope do-it-yourself stuff, man. So go follow him. And before we start this episode, last thing we got to do, chug our beers.
Yep, it's good to be back. Good to be doing this.
Hopefully this doesn't ruin your workout today.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
No. Yep, just finished tennis. So that just gave me all the calories back that I burned. So we're ready to roll, Justin. Ready to roll. Let me get this sipper. There's the famous Justin burp that we always get.
Oh, fuck.
And there it is.
I'm not ready yet. It's still in.
Ooh, it's still in there. All right, guys. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there was a ton of build up to this. Just from people like, I don't know, I felt like the week coming up to it was when people really got excited about it. And people were excited about it, right? Die Hard fans were. But the week beforehand, I feel like I saw everybody posting about it. Everyone talking about what they think it's going to be. Everyone trying to be the first to see it. When does it drop on the 18th? And just trying to get ahead of the curve so that when it comes out, they can talk about their thoughts and not be behind people that have already seen it and stuff, right? So it dropping on Netflix is completely different than you having to go buy a ticket at a theater. So you could just, like I was working on Friday, and just in the afternoon, just tossed it on. And when I got real busy, I just paused it. And but I was able to keep attention. And then I went back after I was done working and like watched certain parts that I wanted to be a little more in tune with. And I took notes that second time around later. So just things that had to be done. But I mean, you watched it.
And I also watched it while working.
While you're talking.
Yeah.
First impressions.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. That's like the word for me. That'd be the word to describe it. I just think there are a lot of dope kills, right? So there's a lot of dope kills. It's like super violent, which is something I really enjoy in a movie.
Not like a psychopath way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love violence.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, right? So, and then there are parts I didn't like.
Yeah.
Right? So there's really, for me, the parts I didn't like were towards the end, probably the last 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But because I What about you? Before I get into it, what are your initial thoughts?
Piggyback off of you.
There it is.
There it is. Waiting on that. The kills, it's hard these days to have like an original kill in films. There were several.
Yep.
I felt like. I know people may hear me say that and say, oh, this has been done in a way in this movie. I'm like, yeah, but it hasn't been done by Leatherface and in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And the certain twist that it had on it was particular. There's 2 kills particularly I'll talk about, but very brutal. I love that they did that. The mask was really creepy. Obviously cutting off the lady's face.
His mom.
Oh, so I thought that was his mom at first. I looked it up. She was just the owner of the orphanage. And he was just an orphan there.
She just took him in?
Yeah, so I looked that up because I thought it was a mom also. And I was like, is that fair? Because a big thing was in the original movies was the family, right? The Sawyer family. And you had different names of the family throughout the series. It changes once or twice. But I see it as the Sawyer family. And she was not related to him. It seemed like she just came to be the caretaker of the orphanage. But him cutting off her face and wearing it was super creepy. Obviously, he's going to do that, but the face looked creepy.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like Drew. It looked old. It looked...
I didn't understand why he took her face.
I think it was just there.
Because he didn't kill her. Like,
No.
he takes faces of people he's killed.
He had, in other movies.
He didn't particularly kill this lady, so it was... And it's also weird, like, how... Like, of all people, how was she able to calm him down?
Yeah.
And
I
keep him away from Sally for 40 plus years.
So I think, and we'll talk about this more as we get down the line, but Leatherface throughout the series, you kind of see some like emotion, empathy in him. More so in the second movie, but even in the first movie, he's just, they make like the family like is kind of looked down upon him and everybody like, he's kind of, obviously, he's the odd man out in the entire family. But, like, I just feel like you see empathy, you see emotion through Leatherface. And I feel like, in a fucked up way, he's wearing her face because he felt emotionally connected to her. I know how effed up that sounds, but that's what I got from it. And you see that later when Sally confronts him. And you see what Leatherface actually cares about. He just cared about her, probably cared about his family on this timeline because this is a direct sequel to the 1974 film. So all he cared about, because when she's like, tell me you remember my friends and what you did to them. And he just walks off.
Yep.
He doesn't even bat an eye because he doesn't care. He cares about what he cares about. And he's a very simple person. And in the second... I know the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not canon in this timeline, but like you see a lot more like dark comedy. You see more. He has a love interest in the film. Like it's a lot different direction, and some people like that movie, some people don't, and it's all taste in that thing. But that's what I got from it. Is that I felt like he felt connected, so he was going to wear her face.
Yeah.
Long answer.
Yeah. No, so like, and I don't mean to divert you from your initial thoughts. I thought I had, but keep going with your initial thoughts.
So that's there. And then the things there were plot holes, like you said, and I want to dive into those in detail. A lot of plot holes. The first like hour of the film, I was like, man, this is great. I knew they weren't going to get back to being like real gritty, like almost looking like a snuff film type, like the original one. Because Netflix has such a large budget for production and everything, so you knew it was going to look good, shot well, and we'll talk about that also. But saw some plot holes towards the end. The ending, I see what they tried to do there, and I'll elaborate on that more later, but I liked it, but obviously it doesn't live up to the original ending in the first movie. I see what they tried to do there. Yeah. The kills being brutal is first impression. I have other issues, but it's with Netflix, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But those are my initial thoughts.
Yeah, I think like we agree on a lot of things, and I'd probably say this movie might be like one of the things we agreed on like the most.
And respectfully, we didn't agree upon on Last Night in Soho, which is fine. But this one we were like just eye to eye on this, back and forth.
And so this movie, for the first maybe 45, 55 minutes, I was very into this. There were a lot of things that were beautifully done, and I mean like shot, like beautifully shot. So like the color palette on this movie looks very similar to the original color palette, which was great.
Yeah, they did a good job of using that yellow and reddish tones and stuff. Yeah,
and so one of the things that stuck out to me was the way the kills were shot. Just the kills in itself, right? So, for example, like, I guess this wasn't technically a kill, but the moment Leatherface got a hold of Dante.
When he grabbed his hand
in the house.
Dante when he grabbed
in the house like when they're in the house and he sees him, so he decides that what's her name?
And reveals him in the reflection.
Yes,
that was a great way to do that.
And then the kill. So every time the door would come,
it was swinging. You kept seeing a little bit more,
and I was like, I was like, this is beautiful. Like this is, and like that sounds crazy, like to say something in a horror film is beautiful, but it was just like beautifully done, and it was like, I had so much I don't know what's like the right word.
Appreciation.
I had so much appreciation for that. Especially for that one specific shot. I was like...
the director, David Blue Garcia, got to shout him out for that. And, like, stuff like that, just... Those shots, we appreciate those in, like, non-horror movies. And then you see it in a horror movie, you're like, man, they took the time to and you know how it is as an actor, like, go through and make sure that shot works. Because it was one take.
Yep.
And so stuff like that. And then, obviously, we have...
Typically, right?
Yeah.
Typically one take. So I
didn't mean one take. I meant one shot. Like, so several takes, but it's just one. There's no cuts, like, and stuff like that. It's just focused on that moment.
I agree.
But man, all right, we gotta talk about the kills.
Okay.
Because that first kill, I texted you, and I was a little bit ahead of Justin on this. I was like 15 minutes ahead of him probably, and I was like, bro, wait, I didn't give anything away, but I was like, I pulled a Justin and was just typing like exclamations in text message without giving any context because I didn't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
And I have not seen somebody get their arm fractured, the bone sticking out, and then someone take that arm that's still attached and stab them in the neck with it. I've never seen anything like that. It was so...
It was a unique kill for sure.
So unique.
Very unique kill. It was like
it's hard to come by original stuff like that.
Especially now, because people have been making movies since the 1920s. We're 100 years into like, Dracula was made in the 19th. Like, they're
way back.
We're 100 years into making horror movies, and so I'm sure you've seen everything under the sun as far as kills go. So it's to see something like that. I don't know where they got the idea from, but that was also beautifully done. Like, just stuff like that. There was another kill in there that I specifically liked. Probably my favorite kill. Also the most fucked up kill. It was the white dude that took the Confederate flag from the... he took it down from the house, right?
He's the contractor.
Yeah. And so he sees that, Leatherface is in there. And he's trying to help out that girl with the curly hair.
Yeah, Richter.
What was the girl with the curly hair?
Sally. Melody.
Yeah, I'm glad she died.
Yeah.
She was annoying.
She got her payoff at the end.
Yeah. So he was sitting there just trying to save her or trying to look for her, and Leatherface is in there. So you'd think an axe to the head was enough.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, several. Several.
Yeah, he took sledgehammers.
Several.
And just started.
This man grabbed the woodchuck.
Like he just and the
slice of the neck killed me. But this man turned this man's leg into a right angle.
Oh my God!
Backwards.
What the fuck? I was like, oh, yo, and like, is Leatherface supernatural?
No. I think he's just strong. Yeah, he's just a strong, like, backwoods, like, mutated.
So 22 gauge just won't kill him.
That was what was interesting to me, is they went that route without, like, saying it.
Yeah.
He blocked the 22 gauge once with the chainsaw too.
Yeah.
But to be fair, and I saw this on a lot of threads, is a shotgun doesn't just shoot, like, it's not like a rifle, right? It doesn't just shoot a bullet right at you. No, it spreads. So I could see, like, if someone's not with great aim is shooting, now granted that's not the case here, but if I was playing devil's advocate and somebody shot a shotgun like to the side of you and like some beads like of the bullets that expanded, clip your arm, like, okay, like you can take that if you're, but like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, if you get shot in the stomach though, it's
that's hard to. If you're shooting people in the stomach, there's several things. Okay. Oh my Jesus, I have so much to talk about. Also, fucking hated why they tried to drive home gun safety in this film. Why? So, all right, can I go?
Then she takes the gun at the end.
I'm so sorry to do this, Justin. Right here, I have to let loose.
Okay, go ahead, bro. You do you.
All right. One of the things I absolutely did not like about this movie is we got Leatherface, we got some great kills, some great gore. Actually, I liked the acting. I think some characters I didn't like as much, but that's just personal preference. But I like the acting. Okay. But why Netflix decided that a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that's about cannibals and like basically his family that's fucked up and kills people and eats people and turns them into chili and stuff like that, why they took that and did a high school mass shooting survivor story that didn't really ever come about, because to me, the trauma of facing Leatherface is enough. Why did we need all these flashbacks? Dumb. The gun safety stuff, unnecessary. I get, like, all right, and also having family from Texas, like, if someone's walking around with a gun on their waist, that's not crazy. They acted in the first 4 minutes, they saw Buddy with a gun on his waist, they freaked out. And I was like, I guess y'all just aren't from, y'all like didn't, it was
well, they're not from there.
But it wasn't any social awareness, right? Unnecessary, unnecessary. The Confederate flag thing seems extremely forced. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but like,
they forced quite a bit.
The movie would have been just fine if you never mentioned that. Yeah. Like if you never had the scene where he goes down and like, oh, we need to take this flag down. I get it was to get them into the house and it was a reason, but you could have done a billion other reasons.
Other reasons to do that. So, and that, so like I agree there because I really feel like it wasn't a necessity to keep the story moving forward.
It's just and
I just don't think it was. But, you know, I guess if you're trying to stick up, you know, Jordan Peele does the same thing. And he'll do, like...
But Jordan Peele makes his movies purposely for political commentary, right? He doesn't...
Texas Chainsaw.
He didn't take Texas Chainsaw... And people would be critical of him if he took a movie like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and did that with it. They'd be like, this is not Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, he did it with Candyman.
Candyman has a lot more of that... psychological thriller than a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is just a backwoods slasher. Like I say backwoods, but like just a basic slasher. No. I mean, so Candyman has a lot more you can do with that, and like I don't know, I had to get that off my chest.
No, I agree because like
I hated that for those parts. It had me rolling my eyes on several parts.
Yeah,
but
it does. Yeah. Like the high school shooting for sure was like, okay, like what does this have to do with like this gun shit? Like what does this actually have to do?
Yeah.
But I mean, it comes full circle when she decides to use the gun at the end.
It kind of does.
Yeah, right? So.
It just seemed unnecessary. There's a lot of amazingly shot things. I will say something I was really skeptical about in the trailer was the like Leatherface getting on the bus. Like your canceled bro thing, I was like, wow, that's really dumb, but it's funny. But then I saw the bus scene, and I was like, that was 10 times better than I thought it was.
Also great, like those kills, also great. I didn't like the stupid things where she just,
bro,
and she's just sitting there, just staring, like,
are you gonna freak out? Like Leatherface is about to walk on the bus.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
He was cutting people up and just like taking body parts and just tossing them back.
You're just gonna lay there? That's crazy, right? Like, I just also, like, so that was another thing that made me, so, like, I like the kills. Lot of plot holes here, right? So, here's another thing I really disliked was, so Sally decides to pull up in her car, and they're like, oh, save me. And she just stops, and she goes, I've been waiting 40 years. For like she's so dramatic.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
Yeah.
What movie does that feel like?
Yeah. I was like, what? You're just taking so much out of like I don't know. how much of Halloween like you took, right?
Yeah.
Like from, but at the same time, the two bitches in the back, why are you just sitting there? You just gonna sit there?
And he means the two sisters.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? If she's not gonna do anything,
She said they were bait. She said they were bait, so she's just gonna hold them in there.
fuck you
which
doing?
Is wild.
Get the fuck out! Like, take the car. Like, what are you doing?
So correct me if I'm wrong. The trailer felt like Sally was going to be a lot more involved in this movie, and then I did see, and then I watched the movie, and I felt like they didn't really need Sally back.
Nah.
Like I understand what they were trying to do, like cash in.
Yeah.
On like it would make it wouldn't make sense if you had just had Leatherface. Someone finds out Leatherface is back, and like you were the sole survivor 50 years ago, and don't come out. Yeah. But you could have never mentioned her, and we'd be okay with the new Texas Chainsaw
Could have been
movie.
good with just those with just like the new characters. Because it was pretty like if you know, I guess we'll be critical of that stuff all the time, but it was like that show was just I just think it was like why?
Yeah, but I will say Sally being interjected into the story, or back into the story, I should say, did give us an amazing kill when Leatherface is killing her and like holding her up with the chainsaw. Now we have a part 2 of that conversation, right? Holding her up with the chainsaw in the air for like several seconds, like sliced
right down the middle, bro.
And just throws her like a frisbee into the trash.
He does that too, like to the chick, just straight down the stairs in the house. Yep. Like he's so strong, and I thought that was dope. I was like, this motherfucker he doesn't care.
Yeah,
he'll kill him. Like you know, he don't give a fuck. And like you know, he's definitely more brutal than he's always been more brutal than Michael. But like, I didn't think I thought it was gonna be hard to top the brutality of Michael in Halloween Kills.
The only person that rivals him in brutality, truly, out of the big slashers, is Jason. Yeah, that's what it is.
Hopefully they can fix that lawsuit, and then once they get past that lawsuit, they can
for Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Then they can start a new Friday series because that would be dope.
But with Sally, we're talking about that kill being great. 10 minutes later, she's up. She's not up, but she's laying down shooting him, reloading the gun, talking. I'm like, how are you?
I got this bullet for you. Here, you take this gun, bro. What?
And how was Dante earlier in the film walking around sliced from face to ear? Just sliced up. How is he you would hemorrhage? I know we got to suspend belief to a certain extent, but you would hemorrhage. You would bleed out.
Crazy, bro. What? What are you trying to accomplish here?